Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, man, I don't even know where to begin. So before we get into this video, just go ahead and make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Listen, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start, so I guess I'll just start from the beginning. So this is what happened. This morning, I was doing some research, and I stumbled upon an article from Bleacher Report, where basically John Morant sat down for an interview. And during this interview, John Morant said he was talking about how much he admired Michael Jordan, how great he was, and he said he really wished he could have played in the same era as Michael Jordan did. And basically, he went on to say he would cook MJ, right? If he went up against MJ. And his reasoning is, I'm just I'm a very self-confident guy, and I can't just say, I can't see myself saying that somebody else is better than me, etc. And I totally understand that, right? Totally understand it. I sat down and thought about it for a second until I'm like, should we produce this? Then we put up a poll on our channel, asked people if they wanted us to talk about this. 85% of the people that voted on that poll basically said, hey, man, don't even waste your time. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? Not even going to bother with it. That's his opinion, whatever that, let's just leave it. So that was that. And then I stumbled upon a segment this morning from First Things First, and they brought up this question. And the question they posed to their analysts was this: could John Morant cook MJ? Because those were the words I believe that he used. And the minute they asked that question, I immediately started to hold my breath because I knew Nick Wright was about to say something extraordinarily idiotic. I just knew it. And of course, he did not disappoint me. But before we go any further, this video is brought to you by Aura, the sponsor of this video and the official sponsor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So for those of you who missed what Nick Wright had to say, take a listen to what Nick Wright had to say on the subject matter, and then we're going to come back and react to this nonsense, unfortunately. Take a listen to that.
But here's the thing, Wilds. The answer to this is
Don't call
obvious.
me crusty either.
Both guys would have cooked each other. Now, if the question is 1-on-1 to 11, who wins? Of course, I'm saying Michael Jordan would win the overall game. Okay. Nobody's arguing otherwise. But if the question is, would Ja have gotten his? Would Ja have been able to do not just what Allen Iverson did, but what Kevin Johnson did and break Michael Jordan's ankles a couple times, leave him laying on the ground saying, Pippen and Rodman, that's what we brought you here for. Well, Rodman went on the team
Okay.
yet. I mean, again, everyone remembers the AI clip. Do they remember the Kevin Johnson clip? Do they remember the Kobe Bryant clip? Do they remember and Brew, you'll like this, the great Rod Strickland. Google Rod Strickland, Michael Jordan, throw it in the old YouTube. Get a nice 3-minute compilation of hot Rod Strickland cooking him up. So yeah, I do think John Morant would cook him, and I think Jordan would cook Ja, and I think it would be an entertaining match. But only Jordan acolytes and sycophants would act like Ja wouldn't get his, Wilds.
Here's what I've come to understand about Nick Wright. This is what I've come to understand about him. And it took me a while to understand it, but I do now. Nick Wright in my personal opinion, which I'm entitled to, is a professional troll. I mean that with every fiber and cell in my body. I 100% believe that Nick is a professional troll. Nick Wright's greatest ability, his greatest skill, is his ability to say things that he knows will get under people's skin. Then he tries to create sophisticated arguments around stupid ideas to gain attention. That's essentially what Nick Wright does in a nutshell. Whenever he gives his hot takes, essentially, that is what he aims to do every single time. I've come to understand this. He knows that there will be a reaction such as this, the one that you're seeing now, if he says something like that, and therefore it creates more conversation, it creates more engagement. So some people who just listen to what I said will say, then why would you even give him the platform? Because the reason I'm responding to this is for this simple reason. There are a lot of people that listen to those type of arguments that are not savvy enough to pick up on it. And what happens is they end up thinking that what he is saying, in fact, is actually sensible when in reality it's not. That's the reason I'm providing a counter view, a counterbalance. If it goes on unchecked, if you just leave it, then after a while, people will think that, well, at least some people, well, maybe he has a point. And you will be surprised at the amount of people that actually sit down and listen to the arguments, the pseudo-intellectual arguments that Nick Wright puts forward on a daily basis. And these people believe that this guy's saying something because he's wearing a suit and he has a large vocabulary. They, wow, well, come to think about it, when you think about it, it's like, no. When you think about it, you begin to lose brain cells in the process. I cannot even believe that Nick Wright actually said that. But then again, I understand because he's a troll. Again, let me say this. Let me reiterate this position because I think a lot of people got upset with me. But you didn't really mean what you said. Yes, I meant this. I'm going to say it again. Nick Wright was the first person I heard say these two things. He was the first person that said that at no point in time throughout Kobe Bryant's basketball career was he ever the best player in the NBA. He was the first person I ever heard say that. He was the first person. He was also the very first person that I heard say, after LeBron came back from being down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors, he was the first person that went on Undisputed or went on live TV and said that at that point in LeBron's career, he had passed Michael Jordan. He was the first person I heard say these two things. The very first person. This is the guy that y'all gonna let sit down and tell you who the best basketball player is and talk about basketball. He's doing a top 50 players in the modern era. He stopped, I believe at number 6 was Kobe. Number 5 was Tim Duncan. Number 4 is Magic Johnson. And y'all know what he's getting ready to say? He's going to say, I think, Kareem, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to say Jordan, and then he's going to put LeBron at number 1. And he knows by doing that is going to irritate a good amount of people, and therefore he's created a conversation. Unfortunately, from my opinion, I think Nick Wright has understood that the only way for him to be good at what he does, he has to say silly things. He can't take the obvious answer and explain it in a way that is interesting. So he has to do things like this that irritate people. And he's done so successfully, unfortunately, in this particular case. I don't even understand why you would say something like that unless you're trolling. Like, why would you say something like that? Why would you? One of our viewers, when we put up the poll, he said, don't even give this topic any airtime. It was that ridiculous. And to sit up there and try to make an argument for it, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is why I said I can't take anybody that says LeBron is serious. If you think that LeBron is serious and you agree with the stuff that he said, I can't take you seriously.